Aaron Burnett Out Front, weeknights at 7, only on CNN.
Raymond Arroyo is the anchor and news director of Global Catholic TV, and he is out front tonight. It's the pomp and circumstance that can be so fascinating, Raymond. So I know to some people may say, okay, look, these changes are insignificant, color of the shoes, whatever, guys. But that's really significant, right? The red shoes?
Absolutely. Look, everything in the Catholic Church, particularly the things we're going to see together over the next couple of weeks, Aaron, they all mean something, and they're all tied to history. Those red shoes go back hundreds of years. What they symbolize is the willingness to bleed, to suffer martyrdom for the church, for the gospel. That's what that represents. It is a prerogative of the Pope to wear that alone. No one else in the church may wear those red shoes. So when Benedict is no longer the Pope, he has to give up the shoes. But remember, John Paul II, he wore the red shoes for a couple of weeks early on in his pontificate. Then he wore brown ones. So, you know, the Pope can really do what he wants. He's the supreme pontiff, the supreme ruler of the church, and he kind of can make the rules himself. And Benedict made these himself today.
Interesting. Although, as you've said, Raymond, and I say this, you know, he can't change the doctrine, right? He can do everything but that. All right.
He can't do that.
Yeah,
he can protect the doctrine, but not amend it, Aaron. That's just the deal.
Let me talk about one other thing, though. He wears a ring, a fisherman's ring.
Yes.
Describe it to me and why he's going to actually destroy it. That it looks kind of fluorescent green or yellow here on his finger.
Right. Now, this goes back to 1265. Pope Clement IV referenced this ring in one of his letters to a nephew. It is the sign and seal of his office, Aaron, and when you look closely, you're seeing a picture of it there. It is a bas-relief of St. Peter leaning over the edge of the boat, pulling in fish, okay? This shows and indicates that the Pope, whoever wears this ring, is the successor of St. Peter, the first apostle. His name is emblazoned around the top of that bas-relief, and when each Pope dies, or in this case retires, they remove the ring from his hand, they scratch the front of it, they literally deface it in the sign of a cross, and they smash it with a mallet, so it can never be used again. It is a sign that his power, his authority in the church is finished, extinguished. Usually they bury that ring with the Pope. Okay, John Paul II's is in his casket. In this case, I guess they're just going to hold on to it. They put it in a satchel, and it will eventually be buried with Pope Benedict, but he will no longer be Pope.
That's amazing. And now the cardinals during the pre-conclave period, they are not supposed to be campaigning, but I would imagine that is what they're doing fast and furiously, right?
Well, it's a quiet campaign, Aaron. It's kind of a meet and greet. They look at each other from afar. You know, I remember going to a horse auction when I was a kid. Now, bear with me here. You know, when you go to a horse auction, you look at the horse's legs, you look at its mouth, you read the press on the horse, you talk to the trainers, but you don't talk to the horse. That's sort of the approach of these electors. At least that's what they're telling me. You know, they don't go to the man they're directly thinking about, or who might be a papal candidate. They talk to friends, they talk to people who know them, and they begin to form an impression. Is this the guy we need now?
Right.
You know, and that's how it happens. And then they go into the conclave and vote. The two-thirds majority, the first man to get to the two-thirds majority is the next pontiff.
All right. Well, Raymond, thank you very much. I love it. The horse auction analogy, and it is going to be like watching a horse race as we go through the next few weeks on this.